welcome to No Enemies Here, the show, where right now there's a better camera. Sometimes my camera doesn't work, so I have to unplug it, plug it back in. It might work, it might not work, restart the computer, either shut it down or restart it. That's a difference too. Seriously, what's going on? And when you gotta shut it down, you gotta wait at least 5 minutes or something. What the hell? This is high maintenance. Anyways, glad you're here. Osprey sent me David Thompson and Trevor Benjamin's games, Reinforcements, Undaunted Africa, and Undaunted, my god, I forgot, Normandy, for God's sake. Thank you very much for that. And man, that's all I hear about right now. There's gonna be some playthroughs and reviews of Undaunted everything. So I mean, and you know, I'm trying to get in touch with David Thompson, but he's a busy guy, and he works for something. And I ask him questions, and he says, "Sorry." Sometimes you just have to ask. And you know what? I know Stigler's trolling. He's trolling. What does this have to do with this channel? What does this have to do with that channel? Stigler, you know what it's got to do with this channel? It's called life! For God's sake, something you don't have! Anyways, I got in touch with Volko, and I got in touch with David, and David Thompson. David might do this, and I don't know, maybe I'm gonna get Mark into it. Mark Herman, that is, or maybe Herman Lackman. And I want to talk about UFOs. There you go, Stigler. Huh? What's the connection? Wargamers and UFOs. Huh? My God, Avalanche Hill? Avalon Hill, for God's sakes. Did a lot of space games. Quiet. And I don't know, I just want to have a talk about UFOs. I just want to I want to have fun, man. You know what I mean? Fun. Man, the grumbling grognards like Stigler. How much fun does this guy have? Boy, this guy's got fun. Anyways, enough about Stigler. You gotta poke the guy. I love him, but I poke him. The hell, he's like one of those guys. He's always in the gang. It's like the Big Lebowski, like Donnie, you know? And as soon as he starts talking, it's like, shut up, Stigler. You know what I'm saying? It's out of love, Stig. We got Ricardo in the house, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe that was Wojennik. Hey, let me see here. Was it Wojennik or Ricardo? Lots of things are going on. And it's... what is it? I think it's Ricardo. Anyways, we'll see. We'll see when I get done with the thing. I hope you liked the format that I did. I'm doing half-half, you know, because I don't want to blast everything new to Grognard's, because, man, you know what I mean? I'm going to hear it. I like the old format. Sure, the new format's good. Hey! Come on! Please like and subscribe after all of this. And please support this channel. What else is going on? Mark Herman's new game is out. War in the Pacific, new game. Revised old game, new GMT way. And it's a big one. Also, a lot of fun on everything you wanted to know about war games, but we're afraid to ask last week. Man, a lot of people watch that. It's crazy. Artie is becoming a celebrity. A celebrity. You know, at one point I'm talking with Artie and I said, man, our channel doesn't... What do you mean our channel? It's his channel. What am I yapping about? Our channel. It's his channel. And next week, something weird. It's at my house. The everything you want to know about war games and we're afraid to ask. And we'll see what's gonna happen. Something's up. I don't know. Artie's scaring me. He kind of said that. I don't know. Set it up, maybe. The vague. That's the intel I got. What else is going on? You know what? GMT has a game called, it's a Down in Flames series. It's called Wild Blue Yonder. I want to do like a short series with that, especially with my favorite Frenchman, Fred Serval. But the guy's busy. He's busy now. You know, he's famous, he's busy. He's famous, he's busy. Come on! What about us little people here, you know? Now he's a big man. Big man! Only talks with Mark and Volko. That's it. I think he even dumped Ricardo. Anyways, I want to get this thing happening. I want to learn how to play the game, and these are short shots, so it's good. I'll take care of the editing. Give me your ideas on this. Man, Poindexter would be hot to do this. Oh yeah, and Poindexter. I'm gonna interview Poindexter. And if you don't know Poindexter, Jay is his name. The guy does amazing videos. He's got a great voice. It's calm, it's relaxed. It's almost like, well, not like a Bob Ross, but more like a calm guy. I don't know, I can't think of anything right now. But he's calm, and he's got that, you know, that chill voice. You know, it's like when you have a drink in your hands and life is just perfect and it's chill. He's got that voice. Anyways, I'm going to talk to Jay about this. It'd be fun, but the guy works like crazy. You know, and my schedule, because of my new job, which I enjoy. Seriously. You know why? Because I know that when I go in, I know exactly what has to be done. And yep, it's a hospital job, so it's less personal with the administration and all that, and that suits me fine. Because, you know what I'm saying? A worker's a worker and administration's administration, man. It's two different camps. I'm sorry. That's the way it is. What do you want me to tell you? That's the way it is. What, you're going to go have lunch with your boss all the time? And then what? When your boss has to, you know, put down directives that you don't like, but you're going to hate the person. Sure, you're going to hate the person. Oh, yeah. Don't forget, check out my nightly reviews on pipe tobacco. You know, I got like, what, 55 subscribers? Hey, I want to keep it small. I want to keep it small. So don't subscribe. I'm not doing reverse psychology. I just want to see how many years I could do with 55 subscribers. That would be too cool. But anyways. And it's funny, it's like there's a little less pressure. Because here I've got people supporting me, so it's the pressure to perform. I love to perform. I've been a performer for 30 years. So, you know, I'm a bit of a clown, a bit of a ham, a bit of a jester, you know, a bit of a fool. And I'm also playing Twilight 2000 with Dratus, Ron Nicholson, and the Chief, Bart Brensheen. And obviously my name is Dooch. And, right now, it's getting really interesting. The Chief he's being hard-nosed with us, you know, because he's the game master. So he's creating these scenes where there's Russians everywhere, and I'm in Poland. Yeah, there was a Third World War. It happened, and this is post. And Americans are even hunting us, man, because we left one of the commanders or COs in the woods alive. We should have nailed him, so nobody would have knew nothing. But now we have a good heart, and the good heart is Ron Nicholson. Dratus, man. God, look at the trouble you got us into. What the hell? The guy wants to go in diplomatically. Come on, you're going guns blazing, you know what I mean? No guts, no glory, you only live once. It's a good day to die today. All kinds of cliches. So we're playing that Twilight 2000 on Bonding with Board Games. And it's hectic now. I don't know what we're gonna do. We're trying to pit the Americans against the Russians, because the Americans, they're begging. But there's one guy, he's shifty, and I don't like it. I can't take him out because that's gonna start a gunfight, and we're supposed to recon the prison to find our target and neutralize him. That's what it is, man. It's getting heavy. Check it out on Bonding with Board Games. Well, that's it. Today is my day off. I've got time to do this with calm And, you know, I wish I had a Bob Ross attitude, you know, like everything's quiet and everything should be nice. I can't. Plus, my wrists hurt, so it makes me irritable. But, you know, I just took some CBD, 1 milligram of CBD under my tongue, oil. And, that seems to work a little bit, but it's pinched. The tendons are pinching my nerves, making my hands all tingly. So I gotta put my hands down, let the blood, you know, recirculate, because I can't pick my nose for a long time. I get all frozen, I don't feel anything. That was just an example. I'm not an example, but, you know, that's a... Suppose you have to pick your nose and you don't feel anything. How are you gonna pick your nose? I'm flying off the handle here. And I want to talk about UFOs. Have a great show, people.
Hello, this is Riccardo Masini, and this time the greatest day in history and games is March 21st, 1918. The day when World War I almost ended, but didn't. The first day of the Ludendorff offensive. In 1918 the Great War still dragged on and on. Even if Russia had been knocked out of the conflict and was now in a state of revolution and civil war, the United States had joined the Entente side and now stood allied with France, Great Britain, Italy and other countries against the Central Powers. Germany had an advantage though. 5th Division freed from the Russian front and ready to be deployed on the Western Front. The key to this crucial strategic edge, however, was to use them before the US troops could be properly equipped, trained and made totally effective as a fighting force. Time was running out for the Kaiser then, and General Ludendorff, chief quartermaster of the Imperial Army, knew it very well. Even not totally supported by all of his colleagues, including Field Marshal von Hindenburg and the civilian German government, Ludendorff planned what he called the Peace Offensive. A great attack that would force everyone to a general armistice and lead to negotiations with Germany, dealing from a position of strength. The main target for the offensive would be in the Somme area, and in particular the British troops stationed there. The terrain was better suited to fast advances, Allied forces were generally weaker and more dispersed. A general British withdrawal to the China ports would leave the French dangerously exposed. Minor offensives named Georgette, Blücher and Gneisenau would draw away enemy troops and offer some diversions from the main thrust that had to happen there. Operation Michael. The instruments to do that would be fresh divisions coming from the east, new and more refined artillery tactics, and most of all, crack assault troops, the field Stoßtruppen, that had literally destroyed Russian and Italian resistance with the speed, maneuverability, innovative tactics and fighting spirit. And the Allies? The Allies knew that the German attack was coming. Large mobile reserve forces and less linear deployment had formed a defense-in-depth system where most of the troops would wait the enemy outside of German artillery range. Armored and mechanized formations were getting on the line, and even air forces were used with more efficiency. However, when the offensive began on March 21st, the Allies were caught totally by surprise. The defense-in-depth system required great training and coordination that replacement or worn-out divisions simply did not possess. Important strong points became simple redoubts, easily surrounded by German assault troops, while in the first days the entire Allied command structures simply fell apart. But the Germans had their problems too. Local commanders were given unclear strategic objectives, while the elite assault troops suffered astonishingly high losses. The second-line formations were not on the same level and could not exploit the first successes. So day after day, week after week, the average quality of the Imperial Army declined dramatically. The diversionary offensives slowed down, then petered out, then stopped altogether and were finally cancelled. Mikhail had great success at first, but British, French, American and even Italian troops that had previously fought the Strasstruppen at Caporetto countered the tactics and isolated them in pockets behind the lines. By July, Ludendorff stopped the advance and understood that the end was near. The summer Allied counteroffensive retook much of the undefendable ground gained by Mikhail and caused the final German military and economic collapse. The peace offensive had brought peace for Germany indeed, but at the cost of a total and devastating defeat. World War I is a difficult subject for wargames, we all know that, but for this particular event I think I found a very good game, Operation Mikhail. Using the tried and true SES system, that is, tried and true classic SPI wargame design approach, Operation Mikhail gets you in the action with simple rules and dynamic playing experience. On the many scenarios provided, you will find special rules for artillery barrages, Stoßtruppen tactics, gas warfare, Allied tank formations and replacements. Also, optional rules and add more realism in command and control, the use of artillery batteries as first-line emergency informations and other historical details. The lines will be neatly formed at the beginning, but very soon after the first assaults, local gaps will appear and then full-scale breakthrough, leaving you attacking and counter-attacking all along the entire front. War will leave the trenches and will start moving once again. The game depicts the initial phases of the offensive and is nicely completed by another SES title, Rock of the Man, focused on its last days and the first Allied counter-offensives. Also, many have speculated that without this offensive Germany could have resisted at least for another year. An interesting scenario explored by Ted Dressier's classics 1918-1919 Storm in the West, recently republished in a new edition by GMT Games. But maybe this is a topic for another episode. So that's it for this time. See you on the next battlefield. Ciao!
Hex. 6 videos. He's working hard for us, man. Into the Woods is here. He's showing us how to set this up, gives us an after-action report of turn 1 and an after-action report of the final turn. And he's showing you how to set up scenario 3. Also, McMurray unboxes Avalon Hill's Waterloo. Fred Serval, my favorite Frenchman, is with none other than the legendary Mark Herman, playing Fred Serval's game, Red Flag over Paris versus Fort Sumter. It's a designer duel. Whoa! I thought he was playing a game. What's the matter with Fred? He's comparing himself to Mark, or at least his game. God, if he comes out a winner, we're gonna have to drop Mark Herman and pick up Freddy as the legendary man. And the man who goes by the name of Jeff has 2 videos this week. The Hunters, a playthrough and setup, and also The Hunters. He says The Hunters AD 2114 day 1. So this is not Greg Smith's game. This is some other game. How dare he? Ha! And ID Jester is slacking off this week with 2 videos. One of them being the War Room with Mo from Mo's Game Table, and also Warframe Valkyr Prime. He was going to say Valkyrie, but it's Valkyr Prime. An overview in 1 hour and 45 minutes. I think it's animated. On History Hustle, we have 2 videos. And it is, how should I say, pertinent. Not pertinent. Yeah, but pertinent to the world today. Why did Ukraine fail to achieve independence after whatever? And the Ukrainian People's Army. Ukraine's army during the, I don't know when. But watch it on History Hustle! The philosopher that is Hexes and Soldiers, AJ Toynbee, Jason Cruz. 2 videos this week. He's getting large into miniatures, this guy. The Battle of Salamanca, parts 1 and 2. All this on Hexes and Soldiers. Timmy of Hairbrained Games. I love this guy, man. Love his attitude. He's checking out and unboxing Massive Darkness number 2. Yeah, I know this guy's a Yahoo, but you know what? He's allowed to be a Yahoo, right? It's a free country, right? I'm not even in the same country as you guys, and the country's free. And if you believe that, I got land in Florida I need to sell. Anyways, check it out. I always keep ranting and raving about his museum. Well, he gives us a tour. Parts 1, 2, and 3 of the museum. I strongly suggest that if you're into World War II or anything war related, because he's expanding his museum to include the Civil War. He also has the Afghan War and the Gulf War, whatever. Check it out, man. Okay, they're short videos, about maximum 10 minutes each, give or take. And okay, yeah, man, you might like the guy, you might not like the guy, but that's not the point. The point is, check out the amount of stuff this guy has. Diagonal Moves checks out Herman Luttman's Crowbar. He gives us an overview and example of play. He's doing, this is a Herman Luttman game. And if Herman's listening, Herman, I never got it. Anyways, he knows what I'm saying. And a game published by Flying Pig Games. And Dave's Gaming Cave does his final turn of a playthrough of Soldiers in Postman's uniform from DVG, designed by, he's all over the place, David Thompson. God! You know, when you just want to relax, take it easy, you know, have your favorite beverage and cool down before you crash. Cult Cinema Classics has 12 videos out just this week. Videos such as Escape from Sahara or Spike the Wild World of Batwomen. And they were so young. Also, $1 Billion Baby and a Sherlock Holmes, The Case of the Pennsylvania Gun. And The Bride of the Gorilla. Come on, these are classics. Counterattack. These Germans finally start putting some hurt on the Americans, threatening to overrun several positions. This is a Storming the Gap World at War 85, Scenario 19, The Rhine, a game published by Lock and Load Publishing. Compass Games Live episode 73 is, I should say, John Krantz is live with Joe Fernandez, designer of Storm of Steel. Combat Board Games brings out another oldie, a game designed by Eric Lee Smith. This is an old SPI game, The Alamo. Check it out, man. the man famously known as Calandale, has 2 videos out. That's less output from this guy, eh? Leipzig, number 5, and Leipzig, number 6. And he says VLE. Someone help me with that. Bonding with board games and RPGs, the Chief has 3 videos this week. 2 videos, I should say 1 video concerning Evil Twilight 2000, and an unboxing of the Pacific War, the struggle against Japan from GMT, and Twilight 2000 Episode 9, Apocalyptic Bazaar, which Ron Nicholson and myself are in. He's called Dratus, and I'm Il Duce. And we just met up with some rowdy Americans. Can you believe it? Americans rowdy? Yeah, we're trying to pit them against the Russians. I don't know, things are not gonna go good. And Kevin of the Big Board, 3 videos this week. Quick drop on Heroes of the Nam. This is a lock and load tactical game, plus 4 shrink rips in 1. That is 1 video. And Salerno 43 Historical Notes, a game by Mark Sibinich, published by GMT. I subscribed to a new channel this week because I was talking to my consigliere, Robert Kilroy of Robert Carroll of KilRoyWasHere. For God's sakes, man, too many C's and K's. The consonants, they're killing me. And this guy, Bo of the 5th Column, man, he's cool, calm, collected. Yep, he's got his opinion, whether you like it or not. It is what it is, but he seems like a straight-ahead ace. He talks about Ukraine numbers, soldier numbers, Russia's next mistake, foreign policy concerning Russia. Obviously, everything is about Russia and Ukraine right now. And stuff like that, man. Back to the table is back to his normal stuff. 6 videos out this week. A solo list. Also, a favorite deck builder. And he talks about the Wizard of Oz and Stacko games and 80s nostalgia games part 2, and also a solo war game list. And Artie of ARDWULF'S Lair is shellacking it with the amount of stuff this guy puts out. And it's quality stuff, I'm telling you. I like his dry humor. He's got 5 videos out this week. Kickstarter preview, Barbarians at the Gate. Also counterclipping, he's tackling Monster War games and more. Also an unboxing of Mark Herman's redoing of Pacific War. The legendary epic returns. A GNT unboxing. Also with everything you wanted to know about war games but were afraid to ask. We were having a lot of fun that night. I was on, Artie was on, we're all on. And the last video was an unboxing of Great Battles of the American Civil War. Into the Woods, a GMT game from 2022. 6actual is giving Undaunted Normandy from Osprey Games an unboxing. On 3-minute board games this week, 2 videos. The 10 best games for 2 players. Also, Wise Guys in about 3 minutes. I'm using a different mic now. It's the mic from my webcam. Anyways, I hope it works well. Anyways, World War II this week. Indy Nidell's team has 3 videos. The first one is called Death from the Skies, Surviving Civilian Bombing. Also, Rommel Leaves Africa and Schindler's First Rescue. I should say, Schindler's First Rescue Mission.
Hello everyone, this is Michel Leviathan-Sorbet, and this is a very brief roundup of the content published on Wojennik TV during the last 7 days. On Sunday I started with a playthrough, and I released a playthrough of Tetrarchia, which is a game covering the Roman Empire at the end of the 3rd century. At that point, the Roman Empire was co-governed by 4 emperors Firstly, Diocletian decided to share power with Maximian, and then they appointed 2 additional Caesars, dividing their zones of control and of influence in order to overcome external enemies. So this is a game covering this very interesting period of the history of the Roman Empire, and during the game we try to defend the empire against barbarian revolts and barbarian attacks. On Tuesday, I released the video in English, and this was the unboxing of a game which I have already covered on Wojennik TV in Polish, because it was the opening of the box of Legion of Honor. Legion of Honor is an extremely interesting project released by Clash of Arms, games in which we can incarnate a French soldier or a grognard during the Napoleonic Wars, firstly during the Revolution and then during the Napoleonic Wars. And we can become an officer, then we can gain influence, gain Napoleon's notice, and even become a Maréchal de France. So we can trace our own path on the military, on the steps of a military career, and we can become one of France's heroes. On Wednesday, the Polish unboxing, and this was the unboxing of a game released by Dimension Games and in Poland by Czacha Games, Twisted Fables. Twisted Fables is a card game in which we take control of ladies coming from fairy tales, coming from stories which will fight one another. On Friday, finally, the Polish review, and this was the review of Sorcerer City, a game released by Druid City Games, in which we will try to construct the most impressive and the most worthy city, using special tiles and using special spells, because, as the name suggests, this will be a magical city and we will incarnate sorcerers. But this will not be that easy, because during the construction of the city, monsters will appear in our districts and they will hinder our construction. So those were the 4 videos released on Wojennik TV during the last 7 days. As always, I wish you an excellent weekend, have a great gaming, and see you next time.
My consigliere, Robert Carroll of KilRoyWasHere, finishes off Warfighter Shadow War expansion number 57, and he goes off the shelf. Too soon? Also, I thought he was over with expansion 57, but he's not, much to his chagrin. Mauro Faina never gives up with Il Giallizzero Nero. Here he looks at a history of strategy and tactics from issues 18 to 90. Also, Kadesh, Story of the World. And he's live, plays Labyrinth, the first part, all in Italian. Probably except the history of strategy and tactics. Seek out and play with his incredibly immaculate videos. Checks out Command and Colors, Samurai Battles, Ranged Combat, The Silent Musician, Rough Swordsman Wargamer, plays Warfighter World War II Pacific from DVG. This is part 1, and he unboxes Hill of Doves from Legion Wargames. Riccardo Mazzini in his Warlog dossier, the history behind the Hex, And if anybody knows their history behind the Hex, that is that he was brought up on Hex and counter war games. Also, 4 videos concerning John Butterfield's RAF, The Battle of Britain, which is an awesome game. I love it. I don't care what anybody says. All in English. Thank you. On Patrick's tactics and tutorials, we have 2 videos, the continuation of his Command and Colors playthrough, Ancients, number 404, Philip II. Also, Here Come the Rebels, scenario number 4, 3 Cigars. My Own Worst Enemy, not My Own Worst Enemy, that's the name of the channel. My Own Worst Enemy is unboxing Captain C, a game by Mike Nagel from Legion Wargames. Mo of Mo's Game Table has 2 videos out. Barbarians at the Gate. This is a Compass Games preview, and there's a Whiskey Charlie on episode 37, March Madness. The artist and designer, that is Matt White of Matt White Wargames. 3 videos. La Bataille de Hanau, my review, he says. Then Salerno 43, an unboxing and initial impressions. Then Napoleon invades Spain. And La Coruna, after action report. Or I should say, Coruña. And the vampire, that is Mark Felton of Mark Felton Productions. We have 2 videos this week. Vladimir Putin, KGB agent. Also, Ukraine isn't the first time. This is a Russian regime change. And Marco Omnigamer checks out Multi-Man's Publishing Autumn for Barbarossa. On Little Wars TV, 3 videos this week. March 12th, the day McClellan gets fooled. Also, a review of Dawn of Iron Rule. And on March 17th, the day the Army of the Potomac sets sail. Gets that stale. God, can't speak. On Legendary Tactics, he brings us 5 videos. Lord of the Rings, how to play the adventure card game. Also, how buggy is it? Concerning Gloomhaven Digital. And Scythe Strategy Guide. Also, the top 10 strategies for Twilight Imperium. And how to play Quebec, 1759. Learn to play in 17 minutes. On Kings and Generals, 4 videos. The Spanish Inquisition Basics, the medieval religion, how Alexander became the pharaoh, and how the US responded to Pearl Harbor. Also, the Greek War of Independence, revolution against the Ottoman Empire. And for all our Spanish speakers and listeners, new stuff from Draco Ideas for 2022. The minister, that is Joel Toppin, has 2 videos for us this week. And they're concerning the same game, Third World War. He shows us aircraft maintenance phase and air superiority and deep strike phase. JK Wargames has Sniper Kill confirmed, an unboxing a game by J. Kirkpatrick, published by Compass Games. The Right Honorable Jim Ozarski, 2 videos this week. Winning your Spurs for Chain of Command. Also, the LGB Battle of Aspern Essling for Commands and Colors.
Hey guys, Dave here. Welcome to Centurion's Review, the punk rock band of Wargame Review. Institutions don't let anyone tell you otherwise. This week we did 2 first look videos, an episode of Wargame Chat, and the review. The first look video we did was of SPIC Louis, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's a flat pack about a hypothetical invasion of Britain during World War II. The rulebook's pretty short, so I suspect this game is very accessible. Next, we did a first look at Alsace 1945 from Avalanche Press. It looks like a micro game, but it's more detailed and takes hours to play. I'd call this one a big box game in a small box. On Wargame Chat, we talked about our favorite Avalon Hill games. Len has been playing Avalon Hill games for at least 50 years and has a ton of knowledge about them. The review we did was Millennium Wars Ukraine. This is a game from 2003 about a hypothetical Soviet invasion of Ukraine. It's okay, but a very long game. Thanks for watching and have a good day.
And here we go with the live stuff again. STUKAJOE has 2 videos out this week. One of them is called War of the Triple Alliance, a live introduction, and War of the Triple Alliance, he says 3, a turn demo. Also, we have Terry Talks Movies. You know, you gotta check some of this stuff out sometimes, you know what I'm saying? And the first one, he's got 2 videos out this week, Hammer's Mummies, Hammer Horror, right? Who's not into Hammer Horror? And their competition, the history of Amicus. Amicus, I loved Amicus. What can I tell you? Also, the Board Game Chronicles, 3 videos out this week. One is Frosthaven Monster Analysis, Lurkers, and Conquest and Consequence Explained. So if you don't know it, listen to this. Also, unboxing Mark Herman's The Pacific War. The Discriminating Gamer, 4 videos this week. Waterloo Solitaire from Worthington Publishing. Also, Cody's Game Shelf, number 1. We always want to know what's on people's game shelves, eh? And then Cody's Top 10 Worthington games. And he plays live Dune Imperium Rise of the Nine. And we have from the Oaken Night, he's back. He's another guy with the soft-spoken Bob Rossi type of NPR type of video, whatever. The Oaken Night, his first My Day of Infamy video, explores the December 1941 Japanese turn in detail. Fire in the Sky, Day of Infamy Part 1, a game by Phalanx. And we have the Gentlemen of the Player's Aid, 3 videos out. The first one gives us a retrospective, and Too Big to Play, a monthly I should say, debrief and a review of Conquest and Consequence from GMT. The Tabletop's Edge, the Last Blitzkrieg Battalion Combat Series from Multiman Publishing, a campaign playthrough of the 20th of December 1944, Part 3. And as we go on, GIMPY of the Gimpy Gamer, Assault Red Horizon 41, Part 2, and another boot camp from Lock and Load Publishing, Point Blank, Load and Unload, and a Whiskey Charlie. Tony's Board Life plays, it's funny, eh? Nations at War Compendium Scenario, Stun Part 2, and Stun, I hope I pronounced that right, Part 3 on Tony's Board Life. Wardy Roll plays World War II board games and media. He plays media, I'm telling you. He's got the table set for Jean Blue Gap, scenario number 6. Also, shoutouts to Discover channels. I'm going to have to check that out. He also plays the Last Blitzkrieg Goose Egg with Brian. Live Learning. That's not Brian Train, but it's Brian. Battlefield in a Box, Unboxed. All this on Wardy Robe. Wayne Hansen, the cop that is Wayne Hansen, plays Caesar. Sees Rome in 20 minutes. 2 videos of that. I think that's a Bruno Scataglia game? What's his name? No, Paolo Maori. And we have Wojennik TV. Gri Plazave. He's got some stuff in Polish here. I don't get it, but he's got 4 videos. 2 in Polish I'm not even going to try to pronounce. And he's got Legion of Honor, an unboxing, and Twisted Fables, an unboxing by Wojennik. Zilla Blitz, 6 videos, 2 unboxing, 1 of Salerno 43 by Mark Simonich, and The Pacific War by, I don't even have to say it, but I'll say it, Mark Herman. He also plays the Sea Campaign by Stealth and Sea, campaign number 3, and he likes this truck stuff, you know? He's got a Ukrainian paint jobs. And his YouTube gaming channel update on Zilla. And ladies and gentlemen, cue the music. Another week, another show. Thanks for watching. I just had a conversation with Carl Kreider, and he made me think of something. You know, he was talking about the time he met Bruce Campbell. Yeah, Carl's a well-rounded man. So he meets Bruce Campbell, right? And they play an RPG with him at some con. And Bruce Campbell says, Carl said that Bruce Campbell loves his fans. Well, I'll tell you something. If I can call my subscribers fans, I am nothing without you guys. Girls too, I promise you. I do this, there's an interest from yous, and it keeps me pumped, man. Plus the support you give me, I'm blessed. So, with that said, there's a con happening in Montreal, Stack Academy. I can't go to it. Why? Because I got a new job and I work every second weekend. But Mark Gannett, the organizer of this con, Stack Academy, will be having the 3-day Stack Academy con, and I will take a day off if I work that weekend to be there at least for 1 day. So, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, grandpas and grandmas, have a great weekend. Don't be a grouch. It ain't worth it. Be happy. It's worth it in the end. What are you going to get for being happy? You're going to be happy, not a grouch. Have a good weekend.
A game for gamers, made by gamers, by Flying Pig Games.